It was one of those mornings when the sun seemed to whisper promises of a perfect day. I opened my curtains and was greeted by a sky so blue it looked like it had been painted. The gentle rustling of leaves outside my window and the cheerful chirping of birds made me pause. Today, I thought to myself, was a day meant for something special. My name is Clara, by the way. I'm a 30-something freelance writer who spends way too much time indoors. So when I woke up to this perfect morning, I decided that instead of another day glued to my laptop, I'd spend it outdoors. I grabbed my phone and texted my two best friends, Maya and Liam. Maya is the kind of person who can make any situation hilarious. She's a graphic designer with an infectious laugh and a knack for turning even the most boring moments into adventures. Liam, on the other hand, is the over-prepared one. He's a teacher, always carrying a backpack full of random things you'd never think to bring but somehow always need. I sent them a message. How about a day at Maplewood Park? Bring snacks, sports gear, and your best picnic vibes. Let's make it a day to remember. Within seconds, Maya replied, "On it! I'll bring my famous cookies." Her famous cookies are more infamous for being burnt, but I wasn't about to burst her bubble. Liam's reply was exactly what I expected. "I'll pack everything we might need. Be there in an hour." By noon, we were standing at the park entrance, our arms loaded with picnic baskets, blankets, and a frisbee. Park was alive with families, couples, and groups of friends, all basking in the golden sunlight. Kids were squealing with joy on the playground, a group of teenagers was playing volleyball, and an older couple was leisurely walking their dog. Joggers were making their rounds on the walking trails. The air smelled like blooming flowers and freshly cut grass, with a hint of barbecue smoke wafting over from the grills. We found the perfect spot under a large oak tree, its sprawling branches offering just the right amount of shade. As we laid out our picnic blanket, Maya pulled out a basket filled with sandwiches, fruit, and homemade cookies. Liam, always the overachiever, had brought a portable speaker, a soccer ball, and even a kite. As we set up, Maya introduced the first bit of chaos for the day. "Clara, I brought a new game," she announced, pulling out a giant Jenga set from her tote bag. Now, if you've never played giant Jenga, let me tell you, it's not for the faint of heart. The wooden blocks are heavy, and when the tower falls, it's loud enough to make everyone in the park turn and stare. Liam groaned. "You couldn't just bring a deck of cards like a normal person?" "Nope." "Where's the fun in that?" Maya said, grinning. We started the game, and true to form, Maya was terrible at it. She knocked the tower over twice, both times pretending it was my fault. The second time, the crash startled a nearby dog, who started barking at us like we'd committed a crime. After Jenga, Liam decided it was time for some real activity and pulled out a frisbee. "All right," he said. "Let's see who has the best aim." Spoiler alert, none of us did. Maya threw the frisbee so wildly that it ended up in a tree. Liam, being the problem solver he is, decided to climb the tree to retrieve it. I stood at the base, holding my breath, certain he was going to fall. "You're going to break your neck," I shouted. "Relax, Clara." I'm basically a squirrel, Liam called back, already halfway up the tree. A few minutes later, he tossed the frisbee down, followed by a triumphant, "See? Easy." Of course, on his way down, he slipped and landed in a bush. He was fine, thankfully, but Maya and I couldn't stop laughing. Once we were out of breath, we collapsed onto the blanket and dug into the picnic. The sandwiches were delicious, the fruit was refreshing, and Liam's cookies, well, let's just say they were more charcoal-inspired than chocolate. As we ate, we talked about everything and nothing, our plans for the summer, funny memories from college, and even debated whether pineapple belonged on pizza. Conversation flowed effortlessly, punctuated by laughter and the occasional groan as Liam attempted to tell dad jokes that were so bad they were almost good. After lunch, Liam unveiled his next surprise, a kite shaped like a dragon. "I've always wanted to fly this," he said, holding it up like it was some kind of treasure. We took turns trying to get the kite in the air, but the wind wasn't cooperating. Just as we were about to give up, a strong gust came out of nowhere. Kite soared, its dragon tail whipping through the sky. For a moment, we stood there in awe. It was beautiful, the way it danced against the backdrop of the blue sky and fluffy white clouds. But, as with everything that day, chaos wasn't far behind. Maya, in her excitement, let go of the string. "Oh no!" she screamed as the kite started to drift away. Liam, ever the hero, sprinted after it. He managed to grab the string just before it got tangled in a tree. By the time he came back, he was out of breath but grinning. "You two are lucky I'm here," he said, collapsing onto the picnic blanket. As the afternoon wore on, we decided to play soccer. Liam set up makeshift goals using our bags, and the game began. Now, I'm not exactly athletic, but I have a competitive streak. Maya, on the other hand, is hopeless at sports but makes up for it with enthusiasm. Liam, predictably, was annoyingly good. The game was intense. At one point, Maya tripped over the ball and fell face first into the grass, emerging with a leaf stuck in her hair. "Don't laugh," she yelled, which only made us laugh harder. The highlight of the game was when I scored a goal against Liam. "Yes!" I shouted, running a victory lap around the field. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, we sat by the lake, watching the ducks glide across the water. The air had cooled, and the park was quieter now, with most of the families gone. Maya pulled out her ukulele and started strumming a tune. She's not great at it, but there was something magical about the moment. The three of us sitting together, laughing and talking with the sound of the water and the soft music in the background. "I wish every day could be like this," I said, leaning back against the tree. "Me too," Liam agreed. As we packed up to leave, I felt a deep sense of gratitude. Days like this are rare, a perfect blend of laughter, adventure, and the simple joy of being together. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to our content for more fun learning experiences. Don't forget to comment below, what's your favorite outdoor activity? Share this with your friends and let's keep learning together.